Hey everybody, welcome back, and this week, you're late. That's a paddling. This week's video is brought to you by every single weeaboo that I've ever met at a convention, because this week's question I'm answering is, can you learn Japanese from anime/manga? Well, thank you every weeaboo I've ever spoke to at any convention ever for submitting this question, and the answer is... kinda. Now, what I'm going to tell you this week is not just my opinion, it's something I learned while also surfing the YouTubes for answers on such questions. So I'll link a probably better video than my own video down below by Tofugu, where they go into detailed explanation on this method. Soussaint of knowledge, if you will. But the first thing I want to say is to dispel the myth. No, you're not learning Japanese if you're listening to an anime in Japanese with freaking English subtitles. Your brain defaults to the easiest route. That's just the way it's designed. And so even though you have this Japanese word spitting at you, if you're reading the English, what the brain will only do is connect certain words. And so to you it might sound like giggity, 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 neko, giggity, giggity, giggity. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm understanding what it's saying. Well, I bet you if you didn't have that English subtitle on, it'd be a lot harder for you to catch that neko in the middle. So first step isn't to get rid of the subtitles, it's to get rid of the English subtitles. If you can find it online, be it torrent sites or fan subs, make sure to get the Japanese subtitle version of whatever anime you're doing. Be it with a box set, or if you're online, there's lots of different websites that can give you the Japanese subtitling for the anime or movie you're watching. This is important because this goes with the method. The method is absolute. The method is perfect. Before I get into the method, be sure to find a single episode anime. I would recommend this movie, but it's rough. My recommendation is Hotarubi No Mori E, because A, it's on YouTube, it's free to watch, B, it's got English subtitles and Japanese subtitles, and you'll see why in a second. And part C is make sure it's a anime you are relatively familiar with. And the first step, watch the entire anime in Japanese, from beginning to end, no stopping, no looking up words, the entire thing. You don't need to know all the words yet. What you're doing is getting accustomed to the words that you do know. Second step, turn on your Japanese subtitles, and this one's going to be bit by bit by bit. This is the long process. And this is why it's also helpful to find an anime that has a lot less dialogue than normal anime, since Hotarubi No Mori E. But you're going to turn on the Japanese subtitles now, and what you're going to do is with every single word that you don't know, you're going to pause, look down at your subtitles, you're going to find that word, and you're going to go to a Japanese dictionary app. I recommend Emiwa. You're going to find that kanji, figure out what it means. And you're going to do this sentence by sentence, frame by frame, word by word, until you get the full picture of it. And it's going to take you a while. A 20-minute episode of anime should probably take you an hour or two to get all the way through. Now, I will pause here to say this is not a technique if you are new, if you are in 101 Japanese, if you are a self-study that isn't very far in it. Alright, your last step is to get rid of the subtitles again, and you're going to watch it one more time again, and you're like, but Chad, I want to go to the next one, I've seen this thing so much, I know what happened. Listen, you need to see how far you've come in those first 3 hours you studied this. So, when you watch it in Japanese again, you're going to realize, wow, I'm remembering words that I looked up, I'm remembering phrases that I just learned looking it up on Google or Translate or whatever you're using. And you honestly will probably be able to go through the whole thing and understand about 60, 70, 80% of it, which is huge. I'm not expecting you to know all of it. But now here's part B. You go to episode 2. Do the same thing. Watch it once in Japanese. Watch it again with the subtitles, looking up every single thing that you don't know, making a note of it in a notebook, whatever your method is. 3. Watch it again in only Japanese. Don't use your notebook. Just watch it, and you would be surprised how much you'll pick up. And you'll see in animes, they use the same sort of phrasing, the same sort of lingo, the same sort of wording. And honestly, they don't really use a lot of hard words in anime. It's usually like, I hate to say it's very shallow in the language. But you'll grow a ton, and you'll be like, thank you, Chad. You are awesome. Marry me. Now, this shouldn't be your only method of learning Japanese. Believe me, it's not gonna work. I love you. It's not gonna work. I don't care how devoted you are. But I also made another video on how to learn Japanese for real people and not Irish polyglots, and also made a video on how to read Japanese, which I already linked. I'll link all these down below, and hopefully you can learn a bit. But yeah, that's more or less the end of this video. If you found it helpful, it helps me so much if you like the video. If you want consistent content like this, I put out videos every single Wednesday or Thursday if you're in Japan. be it how-tos, Japanese culture, anime, manga stuff, nerd culture stuff, like conventions, and why nobody in Japan understands what a weeaboo is, which thank God for that. All this and more can be had if you subscribe to my channel. This kingdom can be yours. If you guys have something you want to learn about, if you want to know about, if you want videos on, be sure to comment down below. I leave again for Japan, 60, 30, 64, 65 days, something like that. And I'd be happy to film or ask Japanese people whatever you would like to know. Like, wow, Chad, how did you get your hair that nice? Oh, stop. Now, last up, this has been a big week for LGBT rights and people in America. And I've had a lot of people ask me about that in Japan, just on Facebook and Twitter and all this other stuff. I am not an expert on this. I can make a video, but it'll be coming from other people's videos. So what I instead want to do is I want to send you over to someone who is epic on YouTube. It's Rachel from Rachel and June. And in 2013, she did a video all about being LGBT in Japan. But the cool thing is it's not just her. She's married to a Japanese guy, so they have that kind of cultural lens. But she doesn't even throw anything in from her own experience. All she does is she takes comments from her Japanese YouTube base and translate them for you. So what you're getting is the actual faces and voices of not only gay people in Japan, but straight people who are looking at it from the outside. You're getting government officials, you're getting just such a better view than I could ever give you. And that's what this channel's all about, learning you some knowledge. So if that interests you, I'll put a link down below for Rachel's channel. I think she did an eloquent job, and I think it's outstanding, and I applaud you. Great job. I'm a big fan. But yeah, that's it for this week. I will see you guys next Wednesday, if I don't get killed before then for whatever reason. I mean, after all, my Facebook looks like the Confederacy is fighting the Skittles company, so who knows? Maybe the end of the world as we know it. Alright, if I don't die, I'll see you guys next week.